Today is a very special day for two reasons. One, we have our first special guest on the channel, our cameraman, or camerawoman, I should say, Miss Sage. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello.
She's going to be behind the camera the whole time. So, and the second special thing is we're doing a brand new series on this channel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I build a guitar from start to finish, every step of the way. So this is going to be like probably 25 episodes or something. But I'm going to go pretty in depth and just show you every little step of the whole build. So this is the materials we're going to be using for the build.
This is step one.
This is step one, basically. Well, this is before step one. But so for the top, we have a piece of torrefied spruce, Sitka spruce. See that? That's pretty cool. And for the back and the sides, we have what's called Cuban mahogany, which is kind of hard to get. It's pretty expensive. Really beautiful. I can actually wipe it down and show you kind of what it's going to look like in the end.
What did you just wipe it with?
It's called naphtha. It's like a cleaner, but you can use it on bare wood, and it kind of shows you what it'll look like with finish on. So the finished wood will look something like that.
Pretty.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. So yeah, that's what we're working with on this series. I thought it'd be a pretty cool little project. So now step one begins. So obviously this is two pieces of wood, right? We got to make them become one. So we got to glue it together. Okay, so next I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we've got our two pieces here. And what we got to do is basically glue these together. But before we can do that, you have to have a perfect joint in the middle. And you can see it's pretty close, but come a little closer. There's a few little gaps here and there. So we're gonna have to make those perfectly straight. And I'll show you how I do it. It's pretty simple. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. You can use a hand plane, you can use a router, whatever. But I've got this, just a carpenter's level, and I taped some sandpaper on the side of it. So all I'm gonna do is take this, and I'm just gonna sand on the face that needs to be joined, just until I get it perfectly flat. And it shouldn't take much. Okay, that would like 10 seconds. And I'll do it on the other one as well. All right, now we'll test our fit and see what we look like. Yeah, we're pretty close. I mean, you see that joint's getting pretty tight. Starting to. But I'll go a little bit more. So I'm just gonna do the same process. And sometimes this takes 30 seconds, sometimes it takes 20 minutes to get this right. You just never know. But just keep on working it until you get the joint perfect.
So why isn't that perfect right now? What do you see that's an imperfection?
Well, let's see. If you look at it, all I'm looking for is gaps. So I can see there's just a tiny little one right in through there. Mm-hmm. And then like right down here. Although you can see I've kind of traced the outline of the guitar. So I'm actually not using this whole board. So like if there's a gap right there, I really don't care because it's gonna get cut off anyway.
You're just looking for gaps down that middle line.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Yeah, I see it there.
Yeah. So that means I got a little more work to do. Okay, so I've got this pretty much where I want it. The seam is basically invisible, which is good. You got to have a really tight joint before you glue it up, just so it doesn't come apart in the long run. So now we are ready to actually glue this thing together. So I'm going to use this little jig here that I made. I think it's just MDF. I bought it at Lowe's. And I got these little clamps. I think I got them on Amazon. I can't remember what they're called, but they were like $10 a piece or something. And you can buy these jigs commercially, but the thing about jigs is they're a lot cheaper to make than they are to buy. So if you can make it, do it.
Is the jig's only purpose for this next step in guitar making? Or
Yeah, that's literally it. This jig is to glue two pieces of wood together. That's it. Okay. So I'm going to show you how you do it. It's pretty simple. Guitar building is not rocket science, and everybody has their own way of doing things. This is just how I do it. I'm not saying you have to do it this way, but so first, what you got to do, put a piece of wax paper down so you don't glue your top to your thing. Okay. So now I'm going to take my plates. And let's see. This wax paper might not be long enough. It's almost long enough. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to take my glue. This is just good old Tite Bond. And see if you can get in on this. I'm just going to put a nice bead of glue.
You get around you.
Yeah, that'll be hard to see. I'm just going to put a nice bead right on the edge. And try not to spill it over. Ooh. There we go. Alright, now I'm just going to smear it around all along the edge.
No tool for this.
Yeah, this is my glue tool right here. Some people use a brush, but that's easier for my finger. I don't know. All right. So now I'll take it and I'll kind of like rub the two plates together just to get the glue everywhere. Okay. And you can see we've already got squeeze out. So that's how I know I've got a pretty good joint already. Okay. Now I'm going to take another piece of wax paper and put it over top. Okay, so before I clamp this down, if I clamped it right now, the top would just buckle up, right? So we got to put a lot of down pressure on it. So I'm just going to take these just old scrap 2x4s. I'm just going to put a few of them down on top of it, and then I've got this big old concrete block. Okay, so now this has a lot of weight down, and then I'm going to take these clamps and then I'm going to just start to tighten them. They don't have to be deadly tight, but you know, I want them putting a decent bit of pressure on it.
So not too tight.
No, I mean, you don't want to break it, but you know, they're pretty snug though. Yeah. So they're all tight, and that's it. I'll let that sit for, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours or something. And I'll do the same process for the back. which I won't show that because it's literally the same thing. But yeah, that's how you join the top. And yeah, in the next episode we'll cut it out the shape and probably put the rosette on the top. So there you go. There's episode 1.
Bye.